Memory has always had a constant presence in our daily life. Sometimes we can even realize what is its importance in our existence. Therefore, we ask ourselves, how can we define memory and its features? In order to answer this question, we needed to divide our dissertation into two parts: memory, positive aspects, and forgetting, negative aspects. Taking into account the distinction we made, we named after the dissertation memory and oblivion in the life of any individual. The goals we set aim at providing a clear definition of memory and conceiving it as an important instrument to define personal identity. Brain is made up of two hemispheres, left cerebral hemisphere and right cerebral hemisphere. Where is exactly memory in our brain? The hippocampus, the amygdala, the thalamus, and the cerebellum have a leading role in the process of memorization. Scientists believe that memory originates from learning mechanisms. Eric Kandel is famous for the study of the Aplysia californica. Handel Tolving, Hermann Ebbinghaus carried out laboratory experiments regarding the origin of memories. Long-term and or short-term memory depends on how the event emotionally impacts on our feelings in the moment when we experience it. Consequently, it will determine the encoding of mnemonic traits. Consciousness and unconsciousness characterize implicit memory, such as procedural learning, classical conditioning, and priming. Explicit memory, semantic and episodic memory. When do we start recalling? The reminiscence starts during childhood, and especially when a child begins to be conscious of himself in the surrounding environment. Use of pronouns, or he or she play to be someone else. Brain development goes hand in hand with the physiological changes. Over the years, the number of experiences increases, and our memory luggage becomes more and more heavy. For this reason, episodic memory rationally collects souvenirs, addressing those which are characterized by emotionality to the autobiographical memory. The interpreter uses memory in the professional sector. He or she has a very good semantic memory regarding both mother tongue language and foreign language. Memory is exploited for the consecutive chuchotage and simultaneous interpreting technique. The interpreter is able to understand and remember long or short sentences, or to make a summary of the interlocutor's speech. Visual and echoic memory play an important role in this activity. When an individual shows particular mnemonic capabilities, he or she could be considered special. This is the case of mnemonists. They have hypertrophic memory. We can mention Kim Peek, whose story inspired the movie Raymond, or Solomon Seretsky, a patient of Dr. Alexander Luria. The concept of forgetting concerns the negative aspects of memory, and sometimes it is confused with the term amnesia. A psychological trauma is the leading cause of forgetting, which is incidental or motivated. Amnesia, instead, is the result of physiological trauma. Alzheimer's disease and the Korsakoff syndrome are the most common degenerative pathologies which lead to self-damage. What are the main flaws of memory? Daniel Schachter, author of the book Seven Sins of Memory: How the Mind Forgets and Remembers, makes an interesting analogy between the seven capital sins and the most frequent flaws of memory: transige, absent-mindedness, blocking, misattribution, suggestionability, bias, persistence. The stereotypes are an example of bias. They are defined as generic descriptions of past experiences that we use to categorize people and objects. In the last part of our dissertation, we will deal with the importance of memory in history and its role in the society. It will be also presented as useful means for the transmitting of past experiences. A human being is the guardian of the historical and cultural heritage. Memory is the only weapon to fight against time dilation, leading us to forget, or in the worst case, to ignore what happened in the past. Therefore, its transmission is fundamental. This thesis was developed following a personal interest for the subject. As a student of the interpreting faculty, I discovered that memory is as surprising as unpredictable. Information provided should be useful to enrich personal knowledge concerning memory. Moreover, what we learned should be used to fight against the passing of the time. This is the importance of memory in a person's life, between memory and forgetting.